one thing I remember with my son, who is he's quite disagreeable by temperament. And so with my daughter, when she was misbehaving, she was pretty agreeable. If she was misbehaving, I could basically just look at her and then she'd quit, you know. But my son, it was like, that was just nothing. You're looking at me? It's like, no, that's just not going to go anywhere, man. And so then I'd like tell him to stop, and that really wasn't having much of an effect either. He just sort of maybe laugh or run away or whatever. I mean, he was a tough little rat. And you know, what I would do with him is he would be doing something and I'd interfere and he'd get upset and, you know, angry, and so then I'd get him to sit on the steps, and I told him, you're going to sit on the steps until you've got control of yourself and you can come a civilized human being, and then you're welcome again. And so he'd sit on the steps. It was so interesting to watch because he was just enraged. He'd sit there. Like, have you ever seen a 2-year-old have a temper tantrum? It's really quite the bloody phenomena. If you ever saw an adult do that, you'd call 911 right away. It's like, oh my God. We took care of one kid for a while and one of the things he would do is have a temper tantrum, and during the temper tantrum, he would hold his bloody breath until he turned blue. Try that. Like, you know, that's your homework. Go home and have a temper tantrum, and while you're doing it, hold your breath until you actually turn blue. It's like, you won't be able to do it. You don't have the willpower of a 2-year-old. That little varmint, man, he'd just have a fit. Then he'd hold his breath and then he'd turn blue. It was like, wow, that's amazing. And we would just like let him do it. He'd turn blue and everybody would be gone and he'd come out of it. It didn't work. So he just quit doing it. He figured out, oh, well, that's a lot of work for very little outcome. And you know, it's not like 2-year-olds are stupid. They're not stupid. They're probably smarter than you.